Hi, I'm Randy Hollenbeck, and this is Talking Music Live. Today on the show, we have Hunter Bruce from Fuel the Funeral Entertainment. How you doing?
Hey, Randy, good to be here. Doing good, doing good. Appreciate you having me on.
I just wanted to start out by getting into some of your background. Tell me a little bit about how you got involved with the music scene.
Well, I used to perform a few years ago. I was a vocalist in a local heavy metal band here on the North Shore. And, COVID came, a lot of bands broke up, we parted our ways. But I always really liked doing things in the music community. So back in March, there was a new venue that opened up in Mandeville, and they were the first venue to come around that was open to the idea of bringing around original rock and metal bands. Every other venue in town, they just, they want a DJ, maybe a cover band. Once in a blue moon, you might be able to find one or two that, get the original music back in. But these guys were brand new and they were whole hog. They said, let's do it. Let's support the local music scene. So I had initially partnered with them. I said, look, how about I book a couple of shows here? We see how things go. And it went really well. And from there, I learned that, man, I really love working in all aspects of music. I love doing all the behind the scenes work. So we've recently transitioned from what started as local promoting smaller shows to launching. Last week, we made the announcement that we're going to be shifting Fuel Funeral Entertainment to a full service booking agency with services designated towards artist development, PR, promotional, things like that.
Where are you based out of?
Covington, Louisiana. It's right across the lake from New Orleans.
Okay. And how did you come up with the name Fuel the Funeral Entertainment?
This was years back. Whenever I was 18, I was just getting out of high school, and my first real job was I worked for a funeral home for a couple of years. And anyone in that industry, they're going to tell you it's really long, excruciating hours. Especially during the winter time, people pass away more often, so you're working so much. And I remember there was one day we were all hanging out in the employee lounge, and we just did about almost 24 straight hours, of our regular day shift and then on call working through the night. And my partner sits down at the table, and they had a jar of the Skippy peanut butter right there. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but on the cover of it says "Fuel the Fun," and we passed out. We've been working 24 hours, so he just looks at it, picks up a Sharpie, and writes "funeral." So it's "Fuel the Funeral." He takes a big bite of it, and bam, just hits his head on the table. Went to sleep right there. I looked at it. I said, "That's a pretty cool name. I'm gonna use that for something. I don't know what, but." Now here we are, it's like 7, 8 years later. I'm like, hey, I can finally use that name for something.
Awesome. Can you describe some of the services you provide?
Yeah, so we have an actual artist roster that we do full booking for, whether it's, they're looking for weekend shows or they're going to go out on tours. Aside from that, we try to cater more towards artist development and PR services. So stuff like web creation, EPK one sheet creation. We'll sit down with bands, we'll help them with their artist branding, booking pitch consultations, social media management, ad campaigns, any stuff really targeted more towards the smaller underground local band that's looking to see a boost in their numbers, see a boost in their online presence. Um, and just try and get some good management under them. One of the reasons that I decided to kind of get into this and really make a genuine go of it is because there's so many incredible, talented underground bands out there. And unfortunately, there are just as many people hiding out around the corner looking to take advantage of them. Whenever I first started, I was involved with a few companies, a few individuals that they were taking checks from bands and not doing anything for them. And I saw that and I said, man, that's just not right. You guys are scamming these bands. It's not like they're, Metallica. They don't have millions of dollars to throw at their agents and their managers. Every dollar that these bands spend on their representation really counts. These guys are still working full time jobs. It's money that's going out of their own pockets and their families' pockets. So whenever you start to see a lot of, people who are dishonest in the industry, it really makes you want to get out there and just be genuine, let the bands know up front, hey, this is what I can do for you. These are my capabilities, but also these are my limitations, and you really need to be aware of my limitations. I want to be completely transparent with you guys so that you can have a little bit of faith that, I'm not trying to scam you out of money like a lot of other people out there are.
Oh. What bands have you signed so far to your entertainment?
Right now, we have a small roster. It's still a one man operation. It's just me running everything. We've signed Wildfire out of Biloxi, Mississippi, Super Bloom Nola, a pop punk emo tribute band out of New Orleans, and Altered Sun, kind of a alt metal hard rock band out of Jackson, Mississippi. I've had the pleasure to know all these bands and know all these guys for a number of years. They're all very professional in their work. I know that I can book these guys' shows. They're going to get to the venue, they're going to put on an amazing performance, and they're going to uphold themselves professionally.
How would someone get in contact with you if they wanted to get on your roster?
Well, we have a page for artist submissions on our website. It's www.fuelthefuneralentertainment.com. And from there, there's a contact form, and a band can go in and submit themselves. It comes right to my personal email. Um, I do look at every single submission personally. Um, so, it may not be a good fit, but I'm still gonna, the band had, they were kind enough to submit themselves to me. I want to be kind enough to actually give them a solid look over in exchange. But I would tell bands, all the information's listed there. If you have an EPK or one sheet, definitely include that. Include links to your media, your Spotify. I want to be able to really take a good look at you, listen to you, and for anyone that might be interested.
Now, are all these services bundled together or can you get them separate?
You can get them separate. There are a few bundles. Everything is listed on our website, and there's actually another form there that, if a band is interested in a quote or wants to discuss services, they can get in touch with us very easily there. And then we can set up kind of like a consultation to get with them. This is our price sheet. We do bundle a few things if the bands would decide, but that you can individualize all of them.
And is this like a 3, a 6, a yearly thing?
The one-off services, like if you need a website or an EPK created, then that's a one and done. Stuff like social media management, we'll sign a contract, and that can be carried from month to month. If the band wants to lock in 3 6 months, we try and be as fluid as possible to give the bands, um, whatever's easiest for them to accommodate with.
Where could they get a hold of you guys? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter?
Yep, we are on Facebook, Instagram, Fuel the Funeral Entertainment, www.fuelthefuneralentertainment.com. Very easy to get a hold of. Try to be as quick to respond to messages online as possible. I try to be as quick to respond to emails as possible. But if a band does submit something, it is there. It may take a day, before we can get back to you, but we do reach out to everyone that has the courtesy to reach out to us.
Thanks for coming on the show today.
Thank you, Randy. I appreciate it. You guys have a great day.